Today we're going to talk to you about how to repair potential cracks that occur due to natural weathering in the bench. It shouldn't be too big of an issue, however, we're going to go over two possible scenarios for repairing the bench today. So, the first case scenario is if a small crack appears in which it seems and like it's doing its job, but a crack has occurred due to freezing. In that case, you don't want to chip any plaster off. You just want to take some of this pre-mixed lime putty here, add about 2 or more parts sand to 1 part of this by weight, and then dye it to a darker color using iron oxide. Then you smear this patch on there and rub it in really well with a rag until the crack is filled and you no longer see signs of a crack. It's important to make a very smooth layer, a very thin layer, because otherwise the plaster will have differences that are obvious to any observer. So you want to fill that crack, but you want to rub most of the remaining plaster off of the bench nicely so that it doesn't leave any signs of your patch. The second case scenario is one in which cracks are occurring and the plaster is seemingly decaying and coming off the bench in pieces. In that case, what you want to do is find it early, first of all, lest you have a lot. And only remove as few pieces as you can, and take the rest of the pieces and fill them, just as before. Cover them with plaster, smooth it out, erase, and then fill the area that's the worst with more plaster and smooth it all together, being sure to come back on a regular basis for the next couple days and check it for cracking, wipe it with a rag and smooth it in. Those are the two scenarios you should encounter in repairing and taking care of this bench. Anything greater than that will obviously require a more serious approach. This is the CCAT cob oven. We also covered this in the same kind of lime plaster. A similar process will be followed in repairing this should any cracks occur. Remember, you want to add 2 parts by weight sand to 1 part of lime plaster. There's already some sand in it, but it needs more if you want to prevent it from cracking. And it's pink, but it won't dry to this dark of a shade red without more iron oxide. Those are our leftovers, and that's why they're only partially complete. So when you go to mix them, you'll want to add those amounts, or your patch won't be correct. If this video should find you years in the future and all of the pre-mixed plaster has been used up and you need to make repairs to this bench, the ratios we used were 3 parts sand to 1 part lime putty by weight. And if you do 8 parts lime, then I used 3/4 of a cup of red iron oxide at about 90% or so purity.